All right, Shalom Makim. Start to listen. I do want to give all praise and all glory to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Bahashim Kakadash, the modern star apostles and elders of great most whom that taught us his truth. Peace and blessings to sincere occupants that's pushing this truth and our truth and sincerity. Everyone the full corner of the earth that into lead to us, say Shalom. Okay, I'm the brother Yara Ariyah from the Great Mostar Miami camp. I come back to this prayer power Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, and then I'm making another lesson. Okay, and the lesson title lesson is going to be finish your course. Okay, to finish, man. If we are to finish, well, I'm entitled it all means nothing if you don't finish. Okay, everything that you went through, everything that you learned, everything that brothers have showed you, our apostles and elders have showed you, is gonna mean nothing unless you finish, man. Unless you pass that test. Okay, unless you get beamed up in the chariot, it all means nothing, man. Okay, because if you go back in the world, you did all that for no reason. Okay, and if you fall out or if you just give up, you did all of that for nothing, man. Okay, the point of being the part of this thing, the point of being in this truth is to finish. Okay, it's to be beamed up. It's to get those crowns get put on our heads. All right, but we are to finish. We can't just stop now. Okay. It's like, you running a race, you done trained for this race your whole life. But right before the race, you just decide not to go do it, or you just give up. Okay, same thing when you're training for something, when you're training for a sport or you're training for a big event, okay, you are training to what? To actually succeed in what you're training for, man. Okay? That's like you training for a big fight and you constantly training day in and day out. And you waiting for this fight to come. But on the last 2 days, you just freaking give up and just buck out. In your whole life, you just been waiting for this big fight to happen. Okay, and it's just like us men of the Lord, man. All right? Right now, we are training, okay, for the big day. Okay, till your house shall come back, and crack the cloud. But before that, those trials and tribulations, Jacob's trouble, Esau with his MOTB, coming down with that. All right, that's a major thing that has to take place, man. All right, it's not just something that you can just be in this for a little bit, and then a few years later, you just do your own thing. No, man. Okay, you got to be in this thing to win. Okay, you got to be in this thing to be saved, man. Okay, you can't be in this truth for nobody else. Okay, you got to be in this truth for yourself. You got to ultimately want to succeed, man, or ultimately please the Lord. All right, you got to want to, please Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Okay, but that all boils down to you for you finishing, man. Okay. You overcoming Slakia, you overcoming Esau's, tricks, snares. Okay, you overcoming the MOTB, famine, Jacob's trouble. And the last thing now is just to get beamed up, man. Okay, so it's not too far off, man. That's what you're training for. All right, that's why the Lord put you through these little trials and tribulations, man. It's for you to constantly call upon His name. So that when shit hit the fan, you ultimately know what to do. All right, the Lord is putting you in a mindset of predictive programming, man. A righteous predictive programming. Okay? The Lord is rightly brainwashing our minds, man. Okay? When it comes to us going through things, okay, He's brainwashing our minds to constantly call on His name, man. Not to try to, figure it out by ourselves, but ultimately give the Lord His praise and ask for help. All right? But this is 2 Timothy 2 and verse 3, and it says, Therefore, endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. And that's right, man. Endure hardness. And also, a soldier, what do they do, man? They train for war. Okay, they don't, they don't just train for no reason. No, they don't just train and then when, a war about to come, they just freaking quit. No, man. They train so that they can use what they learn in training in the actual war field, man. All right? It's not just train, and then freaking go back to being a civilian. No, man. Okay? Everything that you learn is going to have to get put to the test. All right? And us being soldiers of Yahweh Shimon Shai, everything that we go through now is going to be put to the test, man. Okay? Everything that we done learned, everything that we done went through, everything that brothers done told us, our apostles and others done told us, are we going to apply this? Are we going to apply this knowledge, when all hell break loose? All right, are we going to apply this knowledge when Esau coming down like a flood? All right, are we going to call upon the name of the first? Call upon the name of the Lord first. Okay? That's what that's what we're doing this thing for, to finish. And it would mean nothing. Everything that you done went through it would mean nothing if you just fall out now, man, or if you just give up now. You done did all that for how long just to quit? Okay, and just to fall out, man. Come on, man. Especially those that knew that they were Israelites. Okay, those that heard the word or was a part of the ministry at one time. Okay, and now you back in the world. All right, you know your subconsciously, your reward already. Okay, for those that was once here and then not here anymore, man. Those that went back into the world, the world, your reward. Okay, you know what happened. You just subconsciously don't want to believe it. Okay, but us as men of the Lord, we see these things and we don't let it bother us too much, because our mindset is to finish. Okay, our mindset is to please the Lord and and make the Lord happy. Okay, Scripture say that good and faithful servant. That's what we want to hear from Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, man. All right. Got another precept. This is 2 Timothy 4 verse 7. It says, "I fought the good fight. I have finished my course. I have kept the faith." That's right, man. I have finished my course. Okay, finishing your course, man. Finishing what you're going through. Okay, finishing your whole journey. What you was put on this world. What you was put on this earth to do. Okay. Lord put you on the earth to be a prophet. You prophesied for how long you had to prophesy. Okay, till Esau took you off the highways and byways. Then the tribulation came. All right, then no sedition among men, and then Esau tried to bring the MOTB. Okay, and you succeeded all of that. Now, you getting beamed up. Okay, or if you was on this side, if your lot was to be a martyr, and you was a martyr, you succeeded regardless, man. Okay, you finish your course. Then that's what we want to do. Finish our course, man. All right, verse 8. Henceforth, there is laid up for me a crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, shall give me at that day, and not to me only, but also to them that love his appearing. That's right, man. We have a crown waiting for us, man. Okay, you can't get that crown if you fall out. you only gonna get that crown if you earned it. Okay, if you remain faithful to the end. Okay, if you believe in the Lord to the end. Okay, if you finish your course to the end, you didn't just started this thing and then fell out. No, man. You finished it from start to from start to ending, man. Okay, that's when you are gonna be blessed. Okay. This is another thing I had too. This is let me see if I grab it. Verse 1. This is Revelation 14 and verse 1. And it says, "And Now look, and lo, a lamb stood on Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having the Father's name written in their foreheads. Right, man, that lamb is Yahushua, man. Okay, and 144,000 is the elect, that was redeemed for the earth, man. Okay, and and the elect is going to succeed, man. They're going to succeed to the end. They are going to finish their course. Okay, whatever their lot is going to be, whether they die on this side, okay, they are going to complete their course. Okay, they are going to please the Lord. Verse 2, and it says, and I heard a voice from heaven, the voice of many waters, and a voice of great thunders. And I heard a voice of harpers harping with their harps, and they sung as it were a new song before the throne and before the four beasts and the elders, that no man could learn that song but the 144,000 which were redeemed from the earth. That's right, man. That song, and we'll be singing a new song, man. Okay, in unity, man. All right. Verse 4, and it says, these are they which were not defiled with women. And that's right, man. The 144, the elect were, are not going to be defiled with these other philosophies, man. They're gonna be about Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai from start to, to ending, man. From beginning to end. Finishing the whole way, man. All right. And it says, for they are virgins, right, man? They are virgins for Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai. They stood stiff before the Lord and His truth. They wasn't defiled with other philosophies, which these are they which follow the Lamb whatsoever He goeth. These were redeemed from among men, being the first fruits unto the Most High and the Lamb. And that's right, man. Following Yahushai. Okay, from the beginning. All right. And then they're gonna be the first fruits, man. Okay. And I got something else too. Okay, this is Proverbs 28 verse 16, and it says, for a just man falleth 7 times and rising up again, but the wicked shall fall into mischief. And that's right, man. If you ain't, if you ain't really about this thing, okay, you understand that, if you in this thing for some years, okay, there are gonna be constant falls, man. Constant downs. Okay, well, don't let those downs get to you, man. Get back up and fight. This truth is all about fighting. The Lord want to see a good fight. The Lord want to see if you're gonna give up early, man. And a lot of people do. But the elect is gonna continue to the end. Okay. But it says the wicked shall fall into mischief, and that's right, man. You just give so easily over, a few things, man. And then guess what? You go back into the world, back being a nigger. Okay? But hey, that is the lesson. That's how the lesson is gonna be. It will all mean nothing if you don't finish. So finish, brothers. Okay, endure everything, man, for Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai's sake. Okay? We have a crown laid up for us. At least we finish. Okay, if we don't finish, what we place on this earth to do, then we are not going to be rewarded. All right. So Lord was edified with that. I want to give all praises to Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Kakadash, the born to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. That I want to say, Shalom.